What is up, MMA fans? Back again. Um, I know for my Junior Dos Santos, Cain Velasquez breakdown video, I didn't really go in too much into any other fight on the card, but I think I'll take this time to go ahead and do that. Um, and I guess it starts with um, Daniel Cormier and Roy Nelson fighting. I think this is the last fight for Daniel Cormier at heavyweight until he's moving down to light heavyweight. Um, I think this is his fight to lose. If he doesn't prepare for Roy Nelson the way he needs to prepare for Roy Nelson, he will lose. And that's all there is to it. I think this is very winnable. He should win. There's no reason he shouldn't. Um, and if he uses his tools the way he needs to, he'll come away with an impressive win over Roy Nelson, and hopefully looking at himself title contender in the next within the next year. Hopefully, you got to think that Gustafsson may not be matched up with him um, in his next fight, so Cormier's probably gonna miss a train. He's gonna miss that next championship fight at light heavyweight. Um, he won't be in it, I don't think. Not if Gustafsson has something to say about it. But it all starts at UFC 166 for him. He's got to come in there and impress first. He can't put on a lackadaisical effort in order just to sneak by. Um, and I think he has the chance to really open some eyes because a lot of people aren't really hip to Daniel Cormier yet. I mean, he's had one fight in UFC, and I think he really failed to impress against Frank Mir in a position much like the one he is facing now, where he could potentially dominate his opponent. Um, so we'll see. I expect him to get the win, although Roy Nelson is very tough. Um, but but Roy Nelson has shown a habit of putting himself in spots where he looks one dimensional, especially in his last fight against Stipe Miocic. I think a lot of that was due to poor conditioning. Um, so I expect him to come better conditioned in this fight. Uh, However, I don't think he's in the class that Daniel Cormier is. I don't see it. I don't. A lot of people entertaining the idea or the notion that Daniel Cormier might not drop down after this weekend's event. Thinking that he might stay around at heavyweight if Cain loses, which I don't see happening. I think he needs to go ahead and drop down because um, he'll be waiting all day. He's gonna try and tiptoe into a title shot, and it's just really um, I don't see it being anything less than a mess. So he needs to go ahead and move on. Um, Anyways, moving on with this card. Another fight I'd like to I guess just put on the spotlight for a second is Jessica Eye versus Sarah Kaufman. Looking forward to both of these women making their UFC debut. I think both of them have a lot to bring to the 135 women's division. Um, and I expect Jessica Eye to come out here and get the win. Um, I thought Kaufman, I thought Sarah Kaufman looked a little lackluster in her last fight against Leslie Smith. Not saying that Leslie Smith is a slouch because she's not. It's one of my favorite fighters. Um, Leslie Smith is just an animal. So I'm not discrediting um, Leslie Smith at all. However, I felt that Leslie won and Sarah sneaked by in that fight, and now she's in the UFC. Um, Jessica Eye is a former flyweight, 125 pounder, so she's coming up in weight now. But won't be at a huge size disadvantage against somebody like um, against Kaufman because Kaufman isn't a grappler, or primarily is not a grappler. So she won't be imposing any. She won't be imposing on her from a physical strength standpoint. However, Sarah Kaufman possesses some very good stand up. Um, that'll be her key to victory here. However, like I said, I think Jessica I gets the win here. Um, she just shows tenacity to me. I like the way she looks. Basically, she just passed my eye test. Is the way I really feel about her. I think she could be very special. Um, I don't know whether they keep her at 135 because they have several tweeners, like Rosie Sexton, um, who can transition back to flyweight, 125, um, after coming up to bantamweight just to fill the depth for the UFC roster of 135 women. So I'm not sure if she's staying at 135, it should be a 135 or for years to come, or if she um, is helping them cement the women's division and maybe plan on dropping back down later. I have no idea. Um, Not sure about that, but um, segue using that to move into my next point. Um, a man that is debuting at 170 pounds, Hector Lombard, going against Marquardt. These two did not look good in their last fights, especially Lombard keeps disappointing. Um, I'm not sure if the expectations are that high for this fight, going into this fight. We'll see what he does. I think a lot of it is riding on what his performance is. I expect him to do well. I hope he does well. But we'll see. He's been pretty inconsistent to say the least. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, as far as other guys fighting on his card, John Dodson. Um, there's a couple of other fights that I'm really excited for, but none more than Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos. That's the highlight of the year for me, actually. Um, Seeing these two guys fight again is gonna be special. So if you can tune into that, if you can't, follow me on Twitter. Hopefully you'll be somewhere near a computer or uh, a Twitter feed, and you can receive results live from while the event's going on from me, yours truly. Anyways, like I just said, go follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to this channel. Also, go follow me on WordPress at HashtagMMA.wordpress.com. And until next time, y'all stay safe.